Are you trying to set up your texture atlas and it's doing this? Yeah, I had a lot of trouble too. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to import your fully rigged model into VTube Studio. First, you're going to want to make sure that the physics of your model is to your liking. If not, you should adjust it before we go ahead and export the model. As long as the ratio between the physics is to your liking, then you can change the strength later in VTube Studio. Next, you're going to want to open your texture atlas, which is right next to the art mesh edit feature, or you can click Ctrl-T in order to open up the menu. Once you click the texture atlas button, it'll show a window called New Texture Atlas Setting. There, you can put a name onto your texture atlas and then choose the size of that atlas. Remember, you don't have to fit all the art meshes into one texture atlas. If you have a lot of layers like I did, then it's much better to just split them into multiple atlases to get the highest quality and also to make sure that the atlas actually processes. If you want to split your texture atlas into multiple atlases, you're going to want to hide everything that you don't want on that texture atlas. After you set up your first texture atlas, you will be able to open up the Edit Texture Atlas window, which will then give you the option to add multiple textures. This is where you will be able to add the rest of your art meshes onto different texture atlases. When you export your model's quality will be based on the quality of the texture atlas, not the art meshes themselves. This means that if you want to keep the original quality, you're going to want to make your scale 100, which you can select to do so when you click Automatic Layout. It is very important that while you are setting up your texture atlas, you don't overwhelm your computer. If your computer can't handle 100 layers at scale 100 in one texture atlas, you should probably not do that. If it's the case that you want to add multiple textures, just go ahead and click Add Texture, pick your canvas size, and then on the right, you will see List of Image for Model. Click to Only Unset Objects. After you set your dropdown to Only Unset Objects, go ahead and select all the art meshes that you want to place onto the canvas. And then right-click and click the button. From there, you can click Automatic Layout right next to the Add Texture button and make sure the scale is 100 if you are looking for that. Once you're done with your texture atlas, go ahead and select File and then Export for Runtime as a MOC3 file. For me, I keep the export settings on whatever it is, but if you have some things that you want to adjust, you may do so here, and then click OK. Once you do, it'll open up your file explorer. Me personally, I like to create a new file and then export it into that file. However, if you're able to locate VTube Studio's Live2D Model folder, then you may just export it directly into there. But make sure that you make a new folder, just to stay organized. Once your export is done, you're going to want to go ahead and open up VTube Studio. From there, you'll be able to see the Import Your Own Model button. When you click that button, the file where you put all the models into will automatically open. From there, you're going to want to copy the folder that you made into the VTube Studio Live2D Models folder. After that, your model should be available to use. With a new model, you will be asked to either set it up from scratch or copy the parameters of a different model. If you have another model, then you can just click Autocomplete. But if it's a new model, then I suggest starting from scratch and playing around with the settings in order to figure out what works best. In order to create hotkey animations, go ahead and click Expression Editor. Then create New Expression, and then select the parameter that you want moved. And don't forget to name your expression. After that, click Save and scroll down to the plus button. There, it'll create a new hotkey. Give the hotkey a name, and then under Hotkey Action, click Set/Unset Expression EXP3. And then under Expression, you'll be able to find your expression that you just created. Once you click Select and give it a key combination, the animation will work. You can also adjust the output and range of different parameters. For example, If your angle Z is lacking, then your output could be increased so that the actual parameter ends up going farther than the face tracking is tracking. This can also apply for any elements that are too strong, you could make it weaker, and then any elements that are too weak, you could make stronger. Dragging physics is the physics applied when you drag your model across the screen in VTube Studio. Wind strength is wind, and the physics strength is how strong your model's physics end up being. And that's it. That's how you, from start to finish, import your fully rigged model into VTube Studio and set it up. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new, and if you still have any questions or comments, then go ahead and leave them down below.